All right, guys, welcome back to another episode of the South Texas High School Baseball Podcast. Today, we are at Batter's Box by Marucci. A lot of you are familiar with it. I'm here with Kale Emshoff, Calallen alum and current player in the Triple-A Omaha Storm Chasers with the Kansas City Royals. Kale, thanks for coming on. It's great to have you back here in town. I know you just started the off-season. But yeah, thanks for coming on. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I've been looking forward to this. Getting really excited to be home and have a break for a little bit and hang out with everybody down here.
Yeah. Okay, so first topic, I want to get your thoughts and kind of a recap from this past minor league season. So kind of walk us through spring training, really just the full year up until the off season.
Yeah, so I went out mid-January to Arizona where our spring training complex is. I usually go out there a few weeks early, get ready for spring training. And when spring training starts, it's full go, like full speed. You're playing games every day. You're on your feet in your cleats. And basically just looking forward to the game each evening. Spring training was really good. It was Arizona, so it was hot, of course, but beautiful baseball country over there. Complex is state-of-the-art. It's awesome. All the guys are great in the org. And then you spend about a month in spring training, and then you get shipped out to wherever your affiliate is. And I started in our high A affiliate, which was Quad Cities River Bandits, and I was there last year as well. And was excited to get back there again this year and get to work with that team and that group of guys.
Yeah. So obviously, at the end of this season, for those who aren't familiar, you were bumped up to Triple-A,
Yep.
and you skipped Double-A entirely.
Yeah.
Was that more of a surprise? With how? Tell us about how you found out. How did it come about? Was it a shock? Were you kind of like, oh, about time? Because I know you've been over in High A for last season, and then pretty much all of this year too.
Yeah. It was a shock. It's kind of funny how it happened. We had one game left. I take that back. We had 2 games left, but it was the morning of having 1 game left. And I get pulled into the coach's office, Brooks Conrad, one of the best managers I've ever had. And he sat me down and he said, man, it's been a good second half, and they need you in AAA. And that next morning early, I left to go to Des Moines. The team was on the road. And actually ended up getting my first at bat in like the 8th inning, got subbed in and hit a double. The second pitch I saw, and it was exciting. It was definitely a shock for me, but I was very excited to go and see those group of guys too.
Yeah, and we talked earlier a little bit kind of about really what ends up being frustration that I understand is probably very common with every minor leaguer of, you spend a full season in High A, and you probably come in with the expectation of, hey, I'm going to play this year in Double-A. I know you said that was basically you, kind of expecting to be in Double-A this year, and then obviously that frustration of being, we'll say, stuck in High A 2 years in a row, and then you get bumped up to Triple-A. Yeah. So then you're probably, big sigh of relief, like, oh, thank goodness, it's about time.
Yeah.
What is that? I mean, what is that frustration like, and how do you just keep grinding through that?
So the frustration's real, especially leaving spring training and finding out where you're going. It's very real, and I was frustrated, but at the same time, I can't be selfish in my mind. Like, I have to go out and help my team do whatever it takes to win, and that's what I did. Within that day that I found out, I was over it, like, whatever, let's go win a championship, let's do our best. Because the ultimate goal is to be a better person, be a better human, but win some games and get better at the game of baseball is ultimately my goal, and that's the Royals' goal as well. And then playing the whole season, that group of guys, I had so much fun in Quad Cities this year with that group of guys. It was electric coming to the park each day. We just enjoyed our time together, and then getting moved up, everybody was excited for me. I was excited. And now that sigh of relief where it's like, oh, finally get a change for a little bit, and it was very exciting.
Yeah, and you said that they really gave you no explanation as to why you really skipped Double-A.
Yeah,
it's just kind of, hey, you're going to Triple-A, they need you tomorrow.
Yep, that's exactly how it was.
Okay, so when you find out, are you kind of immediately, you go home, you pack everything, just some things?
So it was kind of weird. We were on the road in South Bend where Notre Dame is.
Okay.
And that was about 4 hours away from our home field in Quad Cities. And so I just had my suitcase, and we had black catching gear, but Omaha's blue, so I didn't really have to worry about my catching gear much, just like gloves and bats and cleats and stuff like that. And so when they told me, I packed everything up that day, and I would have left that night, but we couldn't get a flight out, so I had to wait for the next morning at like 5. I flew out and went to Des Moines with just what I had, and they gave me gear as soon as I got there and was ready to go.
And obviously we've talked about the minor league grind a lot on here with some of the previous guests. Kind of walk us through what it's been like for you, like what all it entails, living situation, meals, the pay, stuff like that.
Yeah, so it's been way better, tremendously better since I started. So my first year living was all on our own, and the nightmare that we ran into was finding a lease enough to fit our time frame. And so, for instance, my first year I went to Columbia, where the University of South Carolina was, so it's all college living where all those kids are having 12-month leases.
Yeah.
And then we ended up finding a 6-month lease. That was the best we could do in a very bad part of town. Like it was rough. And it's a joke now. The Forest Brook Apartments is kind of a joke between me and some of the buddies, but we made it work. There was no furniture in there, so we had to rent furniture, get insurance, just all this stuff that had to go into it in a very short amount of time. So like spring training is a month. You don't know where you're going until that like last 3-4 days of spring training. So then you gotta find something to live in the town you're going to. But then I put all my name on that stuff for that apartment, and then I got moved up like 3/4 of the season in, and then I had to like transfer everything to another guy, and it was just an absolute nightmare. And then the year after that, the MLBPA took over, and all the teams have to pay for our living as well. And so that it just makes it so much better for us, and less hassle at the end of the day, and it makes it easier for us.
Yeah, I imagine so. What is life like over in Iowa? You spent 2 years there.
Yeah.
I know you do a lot of fishing.
Yeah, so every Monday is our off day. I would go fishing with one of my buddies, Brady Hanna. He about as close to a professional fisherman as you could get. All the stuff, he's taught me so much on fishing, but I really fell in love with that, and that's what I would do on Monday. All my teammates would laugh at me because I'd be getting up at like 5, and we'd be getting off the bus the morning before. I'd get up at 5 and go fish with him all day and just have a good time. And that's a big thing about minor league baseball, or baseball in general, is you got to find a way to get away from it, because you'll drive yourself insane. Yeah. Especially when things aren't going good. That's when it gets hard. When it's going good, it's easy. Everything's like, yeah, good job, like whatever, like I'm enjoying this. But when it goes bad, you got to find something to do to take your mind off of it. And that was my out. Fishing.
Are you fishing are you just catch and release, or are you actually keeping some? And that's kind of how you just
catch and release.
Okay.
When I'm down home, we'll catch them and eat them. Salt water, you got trout and redfish and drum. Up there, it's just largemouth bass. I don't really eat too much bass. Yeah. I never really tried it, but just more for sport, I would say.
Okay, and then obviously moving to Omaha for these last few weeks, what was Omaha like? What was the living situation there?
Yeah, the town was great. Just for the 2 weeks that I was there, I was in a hotel, and it was a nice setup. Real short drive to the park each day. The town was great places to eat, and actually even better fishing there than Quad Cities was.
Nice. And I imagine Omaha is bigger than Davenport, right? Way bigger?
I think so. I don't know.
I know Omaha is a major city in Nebraska. I don't know much about Davenport.
I don't know. Maybe about the same.
Okay, so we're in the off season. What are some of your off season goals? Are you going to be staying here in Corpus off season? Just kind of walk us through what you've got planned, or if you hadn't even thought through it, because I know you said earlier this was some of the first activity you've done since you got back.
Yeah, so I'm definitely taking a break from baseball. Take about 2 or 3 weeks of just basically anything else but baseball. But some goals for myself. I do want to lose maybe like 15 pounds and get more like endurance style shape.
Yeah.
It'll just help me in the long run and help my legs too, especially when you get in the dog days of like catching and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I usually do that every year and get kind of built up for spring training. But also got some goals for my brand, Seams. Really want to get some more stuff out to the people, some new things, new colors, new products, and really just grow it and do whatever I can to do that.
Yeah.
Those are probably my top 2 goals.
Cool. You have some Seams stuff right there. Do you want to bring it in the shot?
Yeah.
We can kind of preview a little bit of it.
2 hats. Just a few options that I have. So I got some shirts as well, working on some hoodies, and I actually ordered some shorts today. That's going to be a completely new thing for Seams.
I bet the shorts are going to be nice.
They're going to be pretty cool, I think. We'll see. But I'm going to start going to more tournaments this year and just getting it out there in the public's view and see what we can do. See if we can get it exploding before I have to leave again. So
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and with Seams, that's really the main reason that we're here today is we were shooting photos and videos for the brand, so that way we can get some new marketing stuff for you, some videos, photos, so that way you can put it on the website. If people want to shop online, what's the website? Instagram, Facebook, all that stuff.
So our website is www.seamsapparel.com. You can also find us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. You can just type in Seams Apparel. And if you can't find it then, you can just go to my account and you'll find it on my account as well.
Okay.
But yeah, just you stay online, keep up to date on new drops and stuff. It's been kind of slow when I'm in season. It's just hard keeping up with everything and putting new orders in. But now that I'm home, it's going to be picking up quite a bit.
Yeah. Well, sweet. Yeah, we'll make sure to link everything in the video description so that way people can find the way to shop online and buy stuff. I'm actually guilty today. I'm not wearing my Seams hat.
That's okay.
I'm wearing my Myra's hat that Sandy gifted me. Normally, I'd be wearing my black home plate hat that I really like. But, yeah, sorry there. But, yeah, so like I mentioned earlier, we're here at Batter's Box because we were doing all that stuff. If we look a little sweaty, it's because I just finished throwing and he was catching for me. Give me an honest rating, Kale. How did I look?
You looked really good. It was coming out really well. Big fan of the curveball.
Okay.
Good bite to it. And he has some jump to the heater as well for not throwing in 7 months. Pretty good.
I'm not a professional, guys. I'm just a has-been who still likes to throw every now and then. I pitched in high school, so I wanted to see what I can do. I know my arm's going to hurt tomorrow, but I don't have anything to play for, so I'm okay with it. But, yeah, I mean, I just love the game, and that's the reason that we do the podcast, that so we can promote it. That's why we're here at Marucci. That's why we're having you on. Being from Calallen, kind of walk us through your high school days and what your experience was like, the years you were there, and the playoff runs that you guys had. Yeah.
So high school, it was definitely a roller coaster, and just like anything is in life, you learn as you go. But it was definitely a well-timed spent. Like I needed to have those rough times to get me to where I am now, I would say. All those hardships that I faced, and I just look at them as mental challenges, and it's made me mentally tough to handle the struggles that I go through now. And I'm thankful for everything that I went through.
Yeah. As far as playoff runs, each year, walk me through what you guys did.
Let's see. I was on varsity my junior year. I think I got moved up sophomore year, but junior year I was the everyday catcher.
Okay.
I believe we made it to like the 5th round my junior year, was the farthest that I had ever been.
Okay.
And then senior year, I believe we made it to the 3rd round and lost to Alamo Heights. Forrest Whitley, who has pitched for the Hooks a little bit.
Yes, yeah.
In the Astros. That guy was throwing about as hard as he throws now in high school, and so when you don't see that every day, it's definitely makes it harder for you.
But harder to hit for sure.
Yeah.
Do you remember who y'all lost to in the 5th round your junior year?
Honestly, I have no idea.
Maybe Georgetown?
That sounds right. Georgetown. San Antonio.
I think that's probably about right. Because that would have been, what, like 2015, 2016?
Yeah, 15.
Okay. Yeah, I think it might have been Georgetown.
Mm-hmm.
I think I remember. Because was Kyle Hill...
Yeah.
Okay.
Him and Duarte were our
duo. Okay. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure it might have been 15. Yeah. That it was Georgetown. But as far as playing for Chapman...
Yeah.
How was that?
So he's rough around the edges. And you could cut that out if you want. But it's the truth. But he really looks out for the players. He's making them tougher. And he's been trying to grow a strong program, in which he has at Calallen. Every player that comes out of there is tougher in the end. Mm-hmm. And that's like, I kind of look at it as Calallen's a big football school as well. Mm-hmm. So every kid that comes out of there is really strong mentally and physically and just tough as nails. I'm thankful for everything that I went through with Coach Chapman and Coach Lopez. They made me a better player and a better person. And yeah, I'm just thankful for everything they do. They actually let me go over there and give lessons still to this day.
Nice.
And they look out for every player that goes through there.
So when you graduated high school,
yeah,
how much interest from colleges was there? I know you went to Arkansas Little Rock.
Zero
interest. Okay.
There was no interest up until I think I had signed to Wharton Junior College.
Okay.
Going into my senior year, and that was it. And then I think I went and played a fall tournament in Arizona where Grand Canyon University and actually funny story with Little Rock, but Grand Canyon saw me in Arizona. So when I was there, I got a call from Ryan Duke, who was a student coach at Calallen at the time.
Okay.
And he was friends with Russell Raley, who was our hitting coach at Little Rock. And they knew each other through Oklahoma. OU is where they played at. And Coach Raley ended up calling me and saying, "Hey, we need a catcher. And to be honest with you, you probably won't play because we have a senior this year, senior catcher. But we really need a catcher. We want to get you on a visit." So that day I toured Grand Canyon University, and I was like, wow, this is unbelievable, state of the art. It's like a miniature TCU, basically.
Okay.
And a few days later, got on a plane, or maybe we drove. I think we drove from home to Little Rock, Arkansas.
Okay.
And going there, it's not like Grand Canyon. There's some nice parts of it, but not like Grand Canyon. And toured the place and sat down with Coach Curry and Russell Raley. And they laid it out for me. They were like, we know you went to Grand Canyon and saw that place, and Little Rock's not much, but we're doing something special here. And Coach Curry said, I remember to this day, he was like, "You want to play in the big leagues as a catcher, you'll come here." And I said, "Give me the pen." And I said, "Let's go." And I signed it right there and went to Little Rock that next season. So I can't thank them enough. Coach Curry, one of the best coaches I ever had. Coach Raley, best coach I ever had too. It was just phenomenal experience. And look at me now. So it's I go back all the time and think, what if I wouldn't have gone there, and what if I took a different route? But at the same time, look where I'm at. So I'm right in the middle of it. I'm right where I'm supposed to be.
Yeah.
And just thankful for everything.
So what would your message be to the high schoolers watching this, or the parents of kids, high schoolers watching it, who they're taking them all over Texas, they're playing maybe not at a Calallen, maybe at a smaller school that has less eyes on them? What's your message? Because like you said, you had zero college interest up until your senior year, and then you go to Arkansas Little Rock, which is obviously not a Power 5 school. Yep. They don't have a ton of resources, but it was the opportunity that you needed. Yep. That's all you needed. Mm-hmm. So what would your message be? Is it just is it a mix between connections, a little bit of luck, hard work? What would you tell them?
It's everything you just said. For the guys that don't get as many eyes on them, and I know it's hard and it's expensive, but you have to find a way to get yourself out there. That could be YouTube, that could be Instagram, it could be anything. You have to find a way to get your name and get your skills out there. And then once you just have to impress one person in those stands. And that's all it takes. You impress one person enough, they write your name down, and then they'll be watching you. They'll put a star by your name, and they'll watch you the rest of your career. And then who knows, they might just take a chance on you in the draft. And then it also comes with some luck. That person couldn't be in the stands that day. Like, it just depends. It also takes a lot of connections too, and that's why I was saying get your name out there. That starts with connections.
Yeah. Make
connections with the right people. Obviously, there's some people you should probably stay away from, but be nice to everybody. Be thankful for everything. That's some of the greatest advice my coaches has taught me, because it'll come back and bite you in the butt. So be thankful for everything. Make as many connections as you possibly can, and work hard in the process doing it, and everything will fall into place.
Yeah.
That's what I've learned throughout my career.
What are your thoughts on the landscape of baseball in the Coastal Bend? The level of talent that we have as a whole down here.
Where it's going?
Yeah. What it's been, where it's going.
So I think baseball in the whole state of Texas, especially in South Texas, like, it's one of a kind. There's something special about the players that come out from down here. And you have like this whole community built around baseball. And obviously up north, you got more money, you got more opportunities up there, more eyes, there's more everything up there. Down here, it means a little more if you can make it out from down here. But the community as a whole, big baseball crowd, it's phenomenal. All the fans and support you get from down here, it's amazing when I come home, and everybody that tells me that they've been watching me and keeping up on my mom's Facebook and stuff.
Yeah.
It just means a little bit more for the guys in South Texas of getting out of here and taking your career as far as you can.
Yeah.
And it's just phenomenal.
Do you keep up much at all with the high schools around here?
So I'll keep up with Calallen.
Yeah.
Just as they go through season and stuff. But at the same time, I don't watch much baseball at this.
Yeah.
I really just don't. I don't know.
No, hey, that's fine. I don't blame you. One last thing to touch on before we close. Obviously, it seems like the Royals have a liking to South Texas players. Obviously, Nick Lofton just got called up for about the last month and a half, 2 months.
Mm-hmm.
It's on the big league roster. You're in Triple-A. Blake Mitchell's going to be in his rookie year next year, probably going to start out in high A or something. Yep. Do you keep up with those guys? Are you guys talking much at all, more than other guys? What is that connection like?
Yeah, definitely cling to those guys a little more, just because they lived it with us. We were all together for the most part. We relate to everything back home.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to keep up with Blake a little bit. I didn't really know him growing up, but we're pretty close in a sense of we come from the same South Texas area, both Royals now. So been making sure everything is going into place for him and that he's fitting in good. And Nick, obviously, having a phenomenal career. So super excited for him and his wife. And about to have a baby as well.
Yeah.
Really excited for them. But, yeah, then everyone from South Texas that's in baseball now, I'm super excited for where this area is going and where the players are going. And I love where everything is going for us.
Good.
So.
And that you kind of have a little more of a connection with Blake through Sinton, because Coach Alanis's dad is actually one of your off-season hitting coaches, right?
He is my off-season. Like, there is no other coach that
there you go.
He is my off-season coach.
What is it about him that you really like? That you really favor?
He's old school, and he's simple, and not to mention he throws some of the batting practice that I've ever seen. But he knows the game. He's a baseball man. He's a baseball guru. Like he knows every aspect of the game, the mental part. But the part I love most is he's just simple, and he's passionate about everything.
Yeah.
He's helped me a tremendous amount. And I would say he's one of the main reasons where I am today as well.
Yeah, he's great. I remember when I came out I think it was last year.
Yeah.
To
make a video.
Do a little video, and that was fun. Solid BP too.
Yeah.
I can attest.
He's more of just hitting my bat than me trying to hit the ball. He throws it right there, and the ball hits my bat. I don't know. So.
Well, there you go. Well, do you have anything else you want to add?
No, I just want to say thank you to you. Thank you to Javier, right?
Yes, yeah. Javier couldn't be here. He had to work late. He had a meeting that popped up at like 3:30, I think, so he couldn't end up being here. But he'll be back. We'll be back at Marucci to get Mike Goss on and a lot of the other staff here. Get Jose Acuna on as well. We've been trying to make those episodes happen. So we'll be back here for sure. Javier will be back for future episodes, and I'm sure you'll meet him eventually in time. But yeah, so Kale, thanks for coming on. We really appreciate it. Again, thanks to Marucci for having us here and letting us come do the seam shoot. Like I mentioned earlier, if you guys want some Seams hats, shirts, and shorts eventually, everything will be linked in the description box, and we'll make sure to share it as much as we can, so that way you guys can purchase that if you'd like as a gift. It's great quality. One of my favorite hats there. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. We really appreciate it. We'll catch you guys in the next episode. Kale, thanks again, man. Appreciate it.